Hello students, I am present with your English class today. Before I go to teach you something, I would like to give you an important information that from this very session, the paper pattern has significantly changed. Previously there used to be 100 marks in class 12th English, but nowadays from this very session only, a change has been made and it is of 80 marks only. In these 80 marks, 20 marks are for reading section, 30 marks for writing section, and remaining 30 marks for literature section. Remaining 20 marks out of 100 will be internal assessment based on your listening and speaking test, which will be taken in the class. Now let us come to the first chapter of your book Flamingo. The name of the first chapter of the book Flamingo is The Last Lesson. Let us discuss why the title has been given as The Last Lesson. In fact, the last lesson refers to the last period of French language taken by M. Hamel, a French teacher in this story. This refers to the last lesson which was attended by M. Hamel, a French teacher in this story. Now we should come to the main text. This lesson is written by a French writer, Alphonse Daudet. Alphonse was a French novelist and short story writer. This story has connection with Franco-Prussian War. Franco-Prussian War refers to the war between France and Prussia. In old times, Prussia used to be consisted of three countries: Old Germany, Poland, and some parts of Austria. Now, Prussia was led by a great politician of Prussia, Bismarck. Under the leadership of Bismarck, Prussia defeated France in the war, which continued during 1870 to 1871. As a result, two districts of France, which are named Alsace and Lorraine, went into the hands of Prussia. Now, we can say in other words that Prussia colonized two districts of France. Now, when these two districts were colonized by Prussia, they came to be ruled and regulated by Prussian government. Now, whatever they wanted to impose upon Prussia, Alsace and Lorraine, the people of Alsace and Lorraine had naturally to follow it. Now, in these two districts, education system was still according to old tradition. French language was being taught to them. There was a teacher in a school whose name is M. Hamel. He taught in a school French language for 40 years. But one day there came an order from Berlin that French language would no longer be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. It would be replaced by German language, because it was the ultimate decision of German government, Prussian government we can say. Now, it was a big problem for the people of Alsace and Lorraine, who were basically Frenchmen, and now they had to leave their mother tongue. They had to study that German language, which was the mother tongue of Prussian people. Now, the main theme of the story is the importance of one's own mother tongue. Generally, we know that we are not in the habit of giving importance to our mother tongue because we think we have a great privilege on them. But until and unless we have complete knowledge, sound knowledge of mother tongue, we can't say that we have a privilege of adopting them. The same thing happened with the people of Alsace and Lorraine. They didn't give importance to their own language. They didn't show interest in learning French language. When M. Hamel taught them in the classroom, they did not pay attention to him. Whenever a homework was allotted by the French teacher, they didn't complete it properly. There was a boy who is mainly presented in this story, who is the narrator of this story. His name is French, F-R-A-N-Z. French also went to attend the classes of M. Hamel, but he didn't pay attention to whatever he said. He paid little or no attention, we can say. French was also present in the class when the last lesson was being taught by M. Hamel. As he reached there in the class, he found that many old people of the village were sitting. Village headman was sitting there. Old people like Hauser were sitting there. And all of them had a primer book in their hands. Nobody of them was making any kind of noise. Everything was silent. They all sat still, and M. Hamel was teaching in a unique way. We can say that he was teaching as beautifully as he had never taught in his life. French also felt that it was the best class of his life, that he understood everything taught to him by his teacher. And what happened when the teacher declared that the order from Berlin was such that French language would no longer be taught, and it was the last lesson, and next day German teacher was going to come into that school in order to teach German language, and he would also no longer be serving there. His 40 years career was ended now. All of them were very much disappointed. French was very much disappointed. He started feeling that he had committed a great mistake. All of them felt sorry. Why did they feel sorry? They felt sorry because they hadn't given importance to their mother tongue. Now there was not any chance of relearning their mother tongue, and this was such a mistake by them that they hadn't known even how to read, write and speak French language. It was a great insult for them. They were all feeling sorry because they hadn't paid attention to M. Hamel, and M. Hamel wanted to explain to them everything very seriously, but they were not at all serious. Alphonse Daudet wants to tell us that it is the duty of every countryman that they should have significant knowledge of their mother tongue, because it unites them to all the people of their country. And may it be they are colonized by some other country, may it be they are governed by some other country, but by the power of same language they can make themselves free whenever they are united. So one's mother tongue is the key to the freedom. This is the moral of this lesson. Thank you for this much. I will meet you in the next lecture of mine.